Assets 2025 demonstration of BLVDIFF. Scenario 1. Fixing an unknown error. I receive a buggy Python script. I don't know what the error means. I use the explain flag to understand and fix it. The tool's flow would detect a standard error. It would then detect no existing save and would save the file version to error history. Then, with the explain flag would check to see if there are two or more identical script versions. In this case, there are not. So it would utilize prompt 1 to generate an error explanation with the LLM. Script 1. First, we can run script 1 normally with BLV flag. The error will be caught and we can utilize the explain or diff flag for help. In this case, we utilize the explain flag. After understanding the output from the LLM, we can make the change. We can then run the script a second time. This time we receive our standard output as desired. In addition to basic functionality, the tool will also change the prompt it sends to the LLM if a script is run multiple times with minimal change, producing the same error. For example, script 1A is almost identical to script 1. However, if we run it with BLV flag and the explain flag, the output we receive from the LLM will be slightly different. This allows the explanation flag to help users better when they're stuck on repeat errors. Scenario 2. Fix creates new error. I fix one error, but another one appears. What changed? Did my fix cause it? I use the diff flag to compare and debug. The tool's flow would detect a standard error. In this case, we can assume there is an existing save. Then, the diff flag would generate a differential file comparison of the two scripts. Script 2. We can first run script 2 normally with BLV flag. The error will be caught and we can utilize the explain or diff flag as before. In this case, we'll first utilize explain. We find that we have a divide by 0 error. We can then make the fix. In this instance, however, we'll also assume that another error is generated. When we run the script for a second time, a new error appears. This time, we can run diff to see what change caused that problem. Following this, we then see what caused our problem. We can revisit the script, fix the indentation, run the script one more time, and receive our desired standard output. Scenario 3. Fixing a larger problem. I run a script with many logic and syntax bugs. I use the explain and diff flags together to work through each. A potential flow could be as follows. Upon first run, the tool detects a standard error. There is no existing save, so the version is saved to error history. Then, with usage of the explain flag will check to see if there are two or more identical script versions. In this case, there are not. So it will utilize prompt 1 to generate an error explanation with the LLM. The user can then run the script a second time. It will detect the standard error as before. It will update the version history, with the most recent version now being the one that was changed. And then with usage of the diff flag, a differential file comparison would be generated of the two scripts. This process can be repeated as many times as necessary to resolve all errors within the script. Script 3. We can first run the script normally with BLV flag. The error will be caught, and we can utilize the explain flag to understand what happened. After understanding what happened, we can revisit the script, make the change, and run the script for a second time. This time we run into a new error. To confirm that what we just did not cause that error, we can utilize the diff flag. We can see that that change did not cause our error above, so we can then use the explain flag to understand how to fix this error. We can then revisit the script, make the fix, and run the script again. This time, an error is caught for a third time. We can again utilize the diff flag, ensure that what we just did not cause that error, and then utilize the explain flag to understand how to fix the new error. We can then revisit the script, make the change, and rerun the script again with no flags. This time we run into another error. Again, we can choose to utilize the diff flag, ensure that we're okay, then utilize the explain flag to understand how to fix this error. Once we figure out what's happening, we can then revisit the script, fix the issue, run the script normally, and finally, get the result we were hoping for. Conclusion: BLVDIFF demonstrates how differential debugging and LLM explanations can improve debugging for BLV developers. It aims to be a step towards more accessible, intelligent BLV programming tools.